Hello everyone, it's Jamarl Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. I want to thank everyone for your support of the show. I'm doing this one by video because I'm just going to push it up. It's not going to be all that long, but I wanted to make people aware of it. First, I'm having a t-shirt contest. If you want to support the show and you would like to give a heads up on which t-shirt you want to choose, you can put in 1, 2, 3, or 4 based on the t-shirt selections. This is a show fundraiser, that's why I'm doing this. So, the first one, Progressive Voice abuses me help. Don't tell Progressive Voice where I am. Progressive Voice roofied me and had me chained in his mom's basement in a device that forced me to watch only TYT and fed me butterscotch and fatback. I was abducted by aliens and saw Progressive Voice on the ship. So, you can put in your option of 1, 2, 3, or 4. You can do that by going through Streamlabs/Jamarl Thomas, and in the message that it allows you to write, whatever you put in 1, 2, 3, or 4. Also, I'm calling that a power chat. Whatever message you put in, provided it's not racist, abusive, or something to that effect, I will show in the same way that I'm showing these now. So I hope that's clear. I've said it in other shows and I'll explain it if people need me to. Look, the thing I want to talk about right now has to do with what's taking place in Idlib province. I've done multiple shows on this because this is a very big deal. Russia and the United States are positioned in opposition to one another, and neither are agreeing on reality. Meaning, you have two nuclear powers who are at odds in a particular area of the globe, neither of which agreeing on what reality is taking place. The United States, using their psychics, is saying that a chemical weapon strike is going to take place because Bashar al-Assad has already approved it. Now, Russia is saying if any chemical weapon strike that takes place, it's the terrorists, and let's be honest, the Russian argument here makes more sense. It doesn't really make sense for the Syrian government to do this because the Idlib province is the last stand of the terrorists. And the terrorists know that the only way that they're going to get additional support and help in this is through some kind of chemical weapon strike. Faked or actual. So it makes no sense for Syria to do this. And Russia is kind of making this point that A, it makes no sense. And B, they're saying, they have intelligence saying that the terrorists themselves are moving this stuff and they're going to launch it. What's true here? Getting beyond who's right and who's wrong. What's true here is neither side is agreeing on what's reality. And this is a standoff between nuclear powers. If the United States strikes, Russia will say that you've struck us for not good reasons, and we are justified in striking you back. The United States will take a certain disposition. Russia will take a certain disposition, both saying that they're right. Now, who's right and who's wrong in this becomes less relevant and less important than what actually happens based on this kind of tumbling effect into fuckery and chaos. That's why I'm doing this story, and that's why I continue to do these stories, because I want to make people aware of what happens, or what is happening. Russia is saying that the United States has used white phosphorus. Right here. Russia pounds Idlib, accuses the United States of using white phosphorus bombs. Moscow has accused Washington of using white phosphorus in bombing raids in Syria. This comes as Russia ally Syria reportedly drops barrel bombs on civilians in Idlib. Russia's military said on Sunday that the United States has carried out bomb attacks on military targets in civilian areas in Syria, Deir Zor province, using white phosphorus, according to the TASS and RIA news agencies. 2 American F-15 fighters carried out bombings on September 8th, targeting the area of Hajin in the Deir Zor region, using incendiary phosphorus ammunition, Russian General Vladimir Savchnikov said in a statement. I'm sorry, that name is rough. These strikes resulted in fierce fires. We're clarifying the information concerning possible deaths and injuries, he said. The jihadi Islamic State group which the United States, under President Donald Trump, has pledged to wipe out, still holds sway in the area of Deir Zor. Now, the United States has not taken ownership of this, meaning the United States has not necessarily said yes, that we have done this. They have not owned up to this. Let's see. Idlib under attack. Moscow accusations against Washington come as Syrian regime and Russian aircraft on Sunday flew airstrikes for a second day on the country's last rebel bastion in Idlib. Residents and rescuers said the Syrian army helicopters has dropped barrel bombs on villagers in southern Idlib, killing at least 2 children, while Russian jets were reported to have carried out raids on rebel positions, which the neighborhood province of Hama. The Syrian army has denied using barrel bombs, which typically contains high explosives and shrapnel, but UN investigators have found extensive evidence to bear out the accusation. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Meaning the barrel bombs, I don't doubt it. The point I want to make here: 2 superpowers in a very small region of the globe. The United States has carried out operations in order to try to intimidate the Russians. The Russians has beefed up the amount of forces that are in that area of the globe. Both sides, neither of which are owning up to the reality of the other side, meaning owning up to what reality is. This is just a heads up of what's taking place in Idlib and why it's such a big deal. You can easily see how this can tumble into shit and piss and fuckery. Yes, I mean, I'm using base terms in order to describe it, but what do you call the nuclear bomb? What do you call the situation where superpowers get into a fight? The United States, under international law and under our own laws, aren't supposed to be there. Russia, Iran, whatever you want to think of them, by international terms, have been accepted into the country by Bashar al-Assad. By international law, they are in their right to operate. We have not been invited by anybody to operate in this particular area. And unless we are forced into ourselves, which apparently we are, and unless rules and laws no longer matter, which apparently they don't, we aren't supposed to be there. Our very presence is breaking the law. That's what I'm getting at. International and our own. So, that said, there's something else to consider. In the anonymous piece where they went after Donald Trump, one of the things they demonstrated was that Donald Trump didn't necessarily want to continuously get into these standoffs with Russia over and over again. To some degree, you can say that media is compelling his behavior, that the political winds and the way that things are going are compelling his behavior. Now, whether you want to say that somebody is releasing information into the press in order to try to force Donald Trump's hand, that probably is true more than not. In the same way, there was an anonymous source that released all that information about Trump before in the New York Times. That anonymous source may also be leaking information like this, where it doesn't necessarily have anything to back it up, but releasing it in order to force another standoff between Trump and forces in Syria. Just saying. In fact, there should be a video by itself. Alright guys, if you enjoy the content, please feel free to share, like, subscribe. You can always support through Patreon. Thanks all.